Hello, everybody. This is Yoko's Anime Reactions, and if you can tell, I've been crying that you are very observant. And it's because I just got done watching Attack on Titan for season 4, episode 13. And if you've seen that episode, then you know exactly what happened. Oh god, I was not expecting that to happen, to be completely honest. So, this is going to be my review for Cells at Work, season 1, episode 1. As for why I'm picking this show, well, my coworker actually recommended it. He watches anime as well, and I was telling him about Dr. Stone, and he said if I like Dr. Stone, then I might like the one he's watching because it's kind of like it's similar to the fact that it goes through medical stuff, like Dr. Stone goes through science stuff and kind of explains to you how it works and everything. And I was like, okay, I might as well watch it. So I tried it, and it's not bad, not bad at all. I'm gonna have to. I was telling him about how I'd watched episode 1, and I'd have to probably go back to rewatch it so I can figure out some of the stuff. Because most of the stuff I kind of knew about already. But one concept he actually explained to me, which I will get to in the video, obviously. But it's about, I wonder what the human body they're living in looks like, is what I am curious about. Because I know they are working in a human body, it's just, what's it look like? I guess we'll never know. But yeah, it's about the main character, or one of the main characters, is a red blood cell. We don't even know what her name or code number is because there's tons of them in there. But yeah, she ends up getting ambushed when some germs end up breaking through the skin and making their way into the area. Before anything could happen to her, thankfully, a bunch of white blood cells show up. And obviously, red blood cells carry oxygen and all that throughout the body. And that's what she was doing. She was a delivery person of oxygen. And that's what the other blood cells were doing. But she's apparently new. I guess she was just newly created, I guess you could say. Or rather, in that show, newly recruited. So she's new to that whole thing. And, doesn't quite know her way around. But she ends up meeting one of the white blood cells that saved her. And, they chit-chat for a bit. Before he goes off to try and make sure that, there's no more germs that escaped. Because, they can't afford to have it escape and multiply. Obviously, the poor white blood cell is lost because she's trying to make her way to the lungs, and she ends up going all over the freaking body, for God's sake. She goes to the spleen, she goes to the kidneys, she goes to... What else does she go? I think she ends up almost going into where I think the white blood cells go. I don't know, I don't remember exactly, but she ends up going to a bunch of places, but not the lungs. She ends up making her way down to the kidneys, thinking, oh, I'll ask somebody. And she opens the door, and boom, there's a freaking germ in there. The same one, the ones that got killed earlier. And it starts chasing her because it doesn't want to be caught. And the same white blood cell shows up again and tries to attack it, but it has apparently a capsule barrier, which is, from what my coworker told me, is supposed to represent some germs that are resistant to white blood cells, I think, like drug resistant germs, which is not good. And he ends up dragging her along as he chases the germ, which from what we find out is pneumococcus, which is what causes pneumonia. And probably a bunch of other diseases, but yeah, pneumococcus can be drug resistant, which means it'd be resistant to antibiotics, which actually corresponds to Dr. Stone because we find out later that Rui's got pneumonia. Spoilers. Sorry, I spoiled it for you guys, but yeah, that is what she's got. Apparently she's had it for a long while and it hasn't killed her yet. Wow. Anyway, yeah, they end up chasing it, but they end up losing it, obviously. And so he decides, for the time being, while they're looking for it, he'll lead her to where the lungs are. Because obviously she has no clue where she's going. And his little, I guess, germ detector is acting crazy. And he has no idea why. We think it's broken, essentially, because it's acting up like there's a germ nearby, but there are no germs nearby from what they can tell. So when they finally get to the lungs, they go their separate ways, and as soon as she walks away, that thing stops going off. And I was like, what's going on? Because I didn't understand at the time until she gets to where she has to go, and she goes, and she shuts the door, and the box starts moving, and I was like, I actually theorized, what if that germ was in the box? And I was like, no, that can't be right, because that box looked too small to hold that thing. No, it was in the box. So that's why his thing was going off the entire time, is because it was right under their noses the entire time, and they didn't realize it. And he realized it and chased after them through the ceiling ducts, aka the skid walls, I guess. And oh god, I'm sleepy. Anyway, it ended up chasing them into one of the areas where the lungs are, and he gets an idea and he starts having her back away until they get to a certain point. And when the thing jumps on where a red spot would be, an alarm goes off, and he's captured in a ball, and he obviously can't get out. But that is he's about to be sneezed out. They recognized him as a threat, and he's about to be disposed of. So he is launched into a pod, and then the pod is put into a rocket, and the rocket blasts off, which is apparently a sneeze in this world. And it blows up. So bye-bye pneumococcus bacteria. Anyway, I am curious as to how this show will go. God dang. I can never get enough sleep. Or maybe I'm bored. I don't know. Because I realized that I was probably bored at work because I yawn a lot at work, whether it's morning or night. And it could partially be because I'm bored. I don't know, because usually you're bored. You yawn when you're tired or you're bored. I don't know. I don't know what's going on with me anymore. Anyway, I'll get this done, and I will see everybody next time.